What's up, guys? This is Return to Tennis. I'm Aaron. Thanks for returning. We're getting out today. It's supposed to rain a couple days later today and probably tomorrow, so we're going to get out today because we got something we've been waiting to show you. It is the Pacific X-Force Pro #1. This is a 2016 model. I had to bulk the grip. You know, you get them off of eBay, you can't get the grip size you want. So I had to bulk the grip up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I was already out on Memorial Day weekend hitting this with the original strings that were in it. I don't know what the tension was, I don't know what the string was, but I was on fire with this racket. It felt like no matter how hard I hit the ball off my forehand side, it went in. This is a great control racket. We are gonna match it up against the Fischers today because it is the frame mold 252, which is a Fischer frame mold. So it's Fischer technology with Pacific innovations and technologies kind of combined. We're going to see how it feels alongside the Fischers. I don't know, because on Saturday I went to drills and I hit the Fischer Vacuum Pro with the Toro line Wasabi in it, and I was killing it. I was unstoppable off the forehand side. I was just absolutely crushing balls. Guys would hit overheads at me and I would just smack them back. It was one of the greatest feelings I'd had hitting a racket since I started, to be able to swing that freely with that much force and still hit the ball in. That was Saturday. It's now Wednesday. So let's see how today goes. We have replaced the strings. We swapped them out. We got it restrung. This now has the YTEX Quadro Twist. This is going to be our official kind of like first time hitting this string kind of review. I have kind of been warned from other reviews that it takes this string about 15 or 20 minutes to kind of open up for you. That starting out it's going to feel maybe a little rough. But we're going to get on the course now and check it out. We'll see you out there. All right, guys, here we go. Starting off with the Fischer Vacuum Pro with the Toro line Wasabi Red. It's a favorite string of mine. Not a good start. It's crazy how tennis is and how the sport works. That one day you're on fire and then a couple days later you're not. Saturday I made a comment to one of the coaches at drills that I had some Fischers in my bag and they were probably some of the best rackets I'd ever hit. To which they asked, well, why aren't you hitting it then? Because I've been playing with my YTEX E-Zone. That's been my match play racket, so I try to practice more with it. You know, so on a changeover, when we were cleaning some stuff up before we started the next drill, I went over and I switched out, and I got this racket out. And he didn't notice I had switched. And I was just absolutely crushing forehands with this racket. I was hitting backhands decent, but forehands I was just blistering. I couldn't miss. It was ridiculous. It felt so good. I was like, maybe the E-Zone should not be my match play racket. Maybe this should. But then I get out here today and I struggled a little bit hitting this racket. It is a bit windy today. The balls are moving around a little bit, coming off the court weird. Of course, I have our constant never-ending trouble with the slinger bag, deciding it doesn't want to cooperate. Run over, give it a stir. It's weird, it kind of does some, as it stirs itself into a geometric honeycomb of some kind where no balls drop in. It's really weird. But anyway, back at it with the Vacuum Pro. Felt good, felt solid hitting this racket. I'm hitting about 30-40 balls here, and then we're going to be switching out to a different Fischer. We're going to switch over to the Vacuum Elliptic Pro here once we get things rolling again. Still working on the one-handed backhands again, and occasionally it's funny, my tennis elbow is not nearly as bad, and I can sometimes comfortably hit one-handed backhands without any pain, but I've gotten so used to hitting two-handed now that I kind of want to keep working on it. I feel like I have better control of the ball and I can actually hit a little bit more power. But you know, any fantastic forehand work I did on Saturday was not evident today. And it's odd how tennis is that you can go, that was on a bad one, from one day being absolutely unstoppable with a shot to the next day the shot being absolutely unhittable. Sent a lot of balls long today. That wasn't bad. Here soon we're looking for an opportunity to switch. Here we go. All right, so next up, the ball comes right at the camera, is the Vacuum Elliptic Pro. Now this one's heavier. The Vacuum Pro is somewhere in the high 330 gram range. This one's sitting around 345. The balance is definitely different. I feel like there's more weight in the head of the Elliptic Pro than the Vacuum Pro. It still is really solid to hit, and I do greatly enjoy it as a frame. It's very comfortable, not a lot of vibration out of either frame, to be honest, and they both hit fairly clean. This one's strung with the Tier 1 Black Knight, 55 pounds. All these frames today are strung at 55 pounds. The Fischers and the Pacific both are all at 55 pounds. They're just using different strings. That was a nice one. Not so much. But that was a nice backhand slice. I really like the frame itself, and I like how it swings. I just, something about the balance isn't me. Something in the balance of the frame just kind of puts me off a little bit. Oh, buddy, it was hot out there today. It'll probably be pushing 90 today. We had some rain forecast later in the day, so I tried to get out as early as I could to try to get this tested out and to hit that Pacific more than anything. I need some new balls. Out there sporting the Fitville shoes, ultra comfortable. Man, I'm so glad I got those shoes. I could not have won a better item for myself than the Fitville Amadeus court shoe. That shoe is so comfortable. But we're going to close things down on the Fischers. They were great hitting, but now coming is the Pacific. Here it is. The Pacific X-Force Pro #1 with the YTEX Quadro Twist string. I actually warmed up with this racket. Starting out today, when I started up the machine to get a little loose, I warmed up with the Pacific because I had heard that the Quadro Twist string starts out a little stiff, maybe. You don't get the feel that you want out of it right when you start swinging it, and it takes it about 15 or 20 minutes to kind of open up. What I've also heard is that it will feel even better the next couple times I play it. It will continue to open up a little bit. Started out a little rough. When I swung the Pacific over the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, I was out Sunday and Monday with it. It hit beautifully, but it had the old strings in it, and I don't know what the tension was on those strings, and I don't know what brand they were. But it still had remnants of the old Pacific stencil on them, so I'm thinking it was the original strings, and they were a Pacific string. But I wanted to put the Quadro Twist in it, as well as it hit, I figured, well, imagine as soon as I get this new string, this nice soft poly in it, imagine how it's going to hit then. Strangely enough, not as well. But as things progress, and you're going to see that watching here, as things progress, this string I start to feel the string open up, right? I warmed up with it. It wasn't completely opened up yet, but I start to feel the string open up a little bit for me. And towards the end, I really start whacking some nice shots. One thing I can say about the Pacific versus the Fischer frames, I feel like the Pacific is more solid in terms of comfort, but it most certainly has a smaller sweet spot. The sweet spot on this racket is a little small, a little harder to find, but it is a control kind of precision frame, not a power frame. In comparison to some other 98s I've hit and that I have, I would say it has more power than the Technifiber TF40 305, but not as much power as the Solinco Whiteout 305. It's kind of somewhere in the middle for me, is how it feels. It definitely has excellent control and comfort. It's just the sweet spot is a little small. It is definitely a higher level player frame, but when you hit it clean, oh, it's like butter. See here, I'm starting to get a rhythm. The strings are, I'm starting to get a feel on the strings now. I'm hitting more of these balls consistently into the court at various angles. It is a great spin string. The Quadro Twist, the YTEX Quadro Twist, man, I was looping some balls into the back court, and they were dropping in. I was kind of surprised that they were dropping in. I was like, that ball's going out. Nope, it dropped just inside the line. I'm getting great response out of the string now that it's starting to, you know, open up a little bit in the string bed. It's starting to relax. It's getting a little warm, and now I'm really able to start feeling how well I can hit this string and this racket. There you go. Again, another one right there. That dead ball. But it is a great frame. The Pacific X-Force Pro is probably, it's quite possibly the best 98 square inch frame I've hit. It is ultra comfortable, very responsive, very precise. Like I said, it's a little underpowered, but on the flip side of that, it allows you to kind of really open up your swing and really try to smash the ball, because you know that the frame's not going to give you that extra power. As long as you got good spin, you can really drop some balls in with a heavy, heavy pace. But we're coming towards the end, guys. That's all I've got for today. We're approaching the end of our racket acquiring. We're going to have a couple other videos for you, and we have UTR this Friday. So that's all for now, and we will be returning you to your regularly scheduled programming. Thanks for tuning in.